Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that's going to help you become your best self. And today we are talking about stop speaking negatively. Your words create your reality. But before we jump into that, I do want to invite you to come say hi to me on Instagram. I am at Sabrina Joy Perozzo. I would love to hear from you. Or you're welcome to send an email to realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. Either way, any questions you have, comments or concerns, prayer requests, feedback, topic suggestions, or just to become friends online, I cannot wait to hear from you. I also wanted to let you know that I did start a private Facebook community for all of us to talk, support each other, talk about episodes on the podcast or whatever you're going through. It's definitely a safe space for you to share and be vulnerable. If you'd like to join, it is the Real Positive Girl community. The link for that is in the show notes, so go ahead and join there. Also, if you are listening to this podcast in real time, I am hosting a masterclass on May 18th. And if you'd like more information about that, you can go ahead and, I'll put a link down there for how to RSVP to the Facebook event that I created. The masterclass won't be hosted on Facebook. It will be through a Zoom link that is included in the event over there. It's just a way for you to RSVP and add it to your calendar and all that stuff and have all of the details there. And then last but not least, I'd always want to invite you to sign up for my newsletter that goes out every 2 weeks. An issue went out today. But if you wanted that issue, you could always send me an email. I would send it right to you, even though you're not currently on the list, and then put you on the list so that you can continuously get an email from me every 2 weeks. Just talking about things that I love, like my little therapy chats where I talk about things I've talked about in therapy or things that have really are really close to my heart, and anything that's upcoming, anything that I want to recommend, anything that you may have missed, all those kind of things. So check all that out in the show notes below. But let's go ahead and jump into today's topic, which is stop speaking negatively. Your words create your reality. I am currently on a kick talking about how attitude is everything. It literally is. I've mentioned it in a presentation I did recently. I mentioned it in the newsletter that went out today, and I'm mentioning it here. And I will most likely make a video about it because it's so darn important. It literally can make or break your day. It really can make or break relationships. We're not really going to talk about that today. It can make or break so many different things in your life. It can determine whether you have an enjoyable experience or if you don't. Attitude is so important, and it's something that we can so easily shift or change when we need to. And, we think that our attitude only affects us when it affects so many things in our lives. And I don't think we realize that. It affects so many things. And again, I'm not even going to talk about how it can affect other people because it's not important right now, and that's not what we're talking about, but it does. It absolutely does. And one of my favorite, people that I kind of look up to that I don't really know, obviously, but Tony Robbins, I love him. And he says so many incredible, wise, motivating, inspirational things. And so Tony Robbins talks about how the words we say create life, create our reality. And it's so darn true. I have just been thinking so deeply about the fact that our words create life and create our reality, and have really thought wow, I really wish I had this outlook on life a lot sooner, because maybe I would have gone about it different. But, every experience that we have is for a reason. We've, gained so much strength and perspective from what we've gone through. So, there's not any regret there, but I do know in hindsight that it would have been nice, right? I'm sure you agree. If we were able to see our life from a more positive, helpful perspective, it would be amazing. But if you don't believe me that the words we say create life or create our reality, I want you to take a moment to at least consider it, right? If you were on the fence, or you're absolutely not, Sabrina, I don't believe this for a second, just take a moment to consider it. Ask yourself if you've been saying negative things to yourself or out loud for others to hear or not. I do talk out loud to myself all the time. I'll have full-on conversations. The other day, my daughter caught me in one because I didn't realize she was in the room I was about to turn into, and then she was there, and I was embarrassed, but I was like, it's fine. She was like, it's fine, Mom. I talk to myself out loud all the time. But I want you to ask yourself, if you've been saying negative things to yourself or out loud for others to hear or not, I want you to answer whether you have been mostly saying negative things in your life. Do you see the correlation there that, okay, I'm thinking and saying negative things on the regular, and then that's the outcome. Those are the things that I see in my everyday life. And I'm not saying that you have to be positive all the time or you can't be negative, because there are going to be moments where we are negative. No one's perfect and we all go through hard things, and we can't consistently always hit, responding rather than reacting on the nose, which reacting would be allowing your emotions and your feelings to lead the way, and then generally you come back with something that you'd rather wish you hadn't done or something that you regret, rather than responding and taking a beat to think about it and think about, well, what would be the best way to respond to the situation? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I want you to ask yourself if you see the correlation of constantly, being all up in the negative and then getting negative. And then think about the last time you were being more positive or even just realistic. And I would say realistic is that middle ground between being positive and negative, where it's you're not being negative and you're not full on positive, but you're more positive. So maybe it's at the middle ground. Maybe it's still inching closer to positivity, but still it's okay, you see things for how they are, but you're also not the world is ending, and you're okay, I am open-minded to good things happening. So, but think about the last time you were more positive or just realistic. And then I want you to think about, didn't it seem like your circumstances were more manageable or even just better than they were when you were focused so hard on the negative? And I don't want you to lie, tell the truth, be honest, at least with yourself. Is that true? Do you see that correlation of, okay, well, I'll spend more time thinking about the positive or just life in a better light, and then things seem so much better? Because your attitude, positive or negative, and it's not assigned good or bad, because I'm not saying that a negative attitude is bad. It just doesn't give you anything in life. It doesn't serve you in any way. So your attitude, positive or negative, will determine so many things in your life that you may not have considered, as I said at the beginning, because we just think that it only affects us. But the attitude that you have at the beginning of something will be grueling and a lot of work and just, a little too much, that not something that you want to do. That attitude that you have at the beginning of that will determine the outcome. It will. It'll determine whether that goes well or whether there's so many bumps or potholes in your road on your journey to completing that, right? It will determine whether you're able to get through it and enjoy any of it or not waste time complaining. This also goes for the attitude you have when you need to do something you don't want to do or that seems beneath you. And you may think, oh, I don't think anything or anyone's beneath me. But I assure you, there's been things that you have been told to do or you have to do that you're why does it have to be me? Why couldn't it be someone else? I am so much better than this, so much experience, so much more experience, so much more capable to do something better. Why is it that I am doing this, right? It seems beneath you. So it all, in regardless of the attitude that you are having, it might all still come together in the end, whatever you're working towards, whatever you're trying to accomplish and achieve. But consider the fact that it could have been a lot better if there wasn't so much negativity swirling around. And I totally get that it's so much easier to be negative than positive, because you just get to sit in that pit of despair. You just get to complain. You don't have to be happy. You don't take any time to consider any sort of problem solving ideas or routes to take. You just get to be everything is terrible. But it doesn't serve you at all, being in that negative attitude, being in that negative mindset. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't give you anything. If anything, it takes things away from you. It takes joy and opportunity to learn something and glean the information that you had from that experience, because you're not thinking of doing any of those things when you're being negative. You're just oh, when is it over? When are we done? Who can I find to take my place? I'm absolutely over this, right? Being negative doesn't serve you, despite the fact that being positive is harder. It's better, right? And generally things that are harder or take more work and effort are better for you, right? Your attitude is also one of the few things, it's a short list, I'm telling you, as the control freak, your attitude is one of the few things you always have control over in your life. You get to decide how you feel, how you act, how you handle something tough. It's all you. I promise you. A lot of times when people talk about how they want to blame someone else for how they're feeling, they're like, "Oh, you made me so mad," or "You made me so sad," or "You made me feel this way." It's important I like to remind them and remind myself, even when I have these moments, because I do, because again, we're not all perfect, that you get to decide how you're feeling. You get to decide if you are going to allow whatever they said to make you mad, to have a reaction like that, or to feel sad, or feel disappointed, or feel negative, or angry, or however you're feeling. And that goes with your attitude. Like, you can't be like, well, that put me in a bad mood. That put me in a bad attitude. No, you chose to go into a bad attitude because the circumstances weren't the ones that you were looking for, and you decided to, pout, be upset for longer than you should. Because I'm not saying that you can't ever feel that way. Absolutely not. No, you can. You should. Because we're supposed to accept and honor every single emotion that we have. You just don't want to sit in those emotions because they don't serve you. They're not getting you anything. They're not helping you solve the problem. They're not helping you move forward to keep going. They're holding you back. And we don't want to engage in anything that's going to hold us back, especially when we have control over not allowing it to do so. So yes, blaming someone else for how you feel will not make the pain go away either. I want you to know. You think it will, but it won't. And think about any time that you've done that, because I know that we've all done it at least once. Think about a time where you've done that and how the pain did not go away. Because shifting blame makes it seem like it's no longer your responsibility, but that's only a fallacy. It's not reality. You made the choice to be whatever you choose to be, whatever attitude you want to have, however you want to react or not. So I want you to consider that the next time you want to set up camp in your pit of despair, that you don't have to. It's not required. Even if other people are doing it, it's not required. It's not. So again, the things you say create your reality. And I don't want you to think I'm suggesting you subscribe to like toxic positivity, which, is fake. It's fake positivity that like only causes you to believe the things you're going through have no right to be mentioned, as if you need to constantly, 110% of the time, cling to all these positive things to say, and that you don't get a right to vent or share how you're feeling, especially if it's a difficult situation, that you should just suck it up and fake it till you make it and all this junk. No, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not saying you should ever do that. But I want you to be fully aware of what you are saying and thinking as much as possible, and to check yourself when it's necessary so you don't live a life full of negativity and letdown. So again, what you say creates your life, creates your reality. Be aware of what you're saying to yourself in your mind and out loud. I want you to stop yourself when you are in a fit of complaints with no action for change. It's one thing to vent and then figure out what you need to do to change your situation or make it better, solve the problem, whatever it is. It's another thing for you to sit and complain and just want to have a pity party for yourself and then do nothing. Because again, it does not serve you in any way. It doesn't. So I want you to stop doing that. Or, stop when something isn't going the way you want it, or when you're disappointed, or whatever is happening. Consider how you are thinking, what you are saying, and realize that it is creating the reality for you, even if it's just the reality that you see, because you're just creating this fog, this cloud of negativity in front of you, when easily you could break through and wipe it away or shoo it away and be like, oh, life is so much better on the other side. I didn't need to be negative all the time. No, you didn't. So please realize that It serves you best when you lean into the positive more than the negative. It isn't going to make like the whole problem or struggle or experience go away. No, no, it's not. It's not. I'm not here to pretend that it is. It's not. And to be honest with you, this might take you a couple times for you to do it and for it to feel good, for it actually to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this feels good. No, but it's going to make it easier for you to get through it. Get through those problems and struggles and things that you're going through. It's not a magic formula, like I said, but it is what will make the whole experience better. Not like 10 out of 10, no. Because if you're going through a serious trauma experience, like that will never be 10 out of 10, but maybe going from like a 2 to a 5, that's worth it, right? It's worth it to have the best attitude you can just to get through that crap. And here is one more quote that will help you. I guess my Tony Robbins thing wasn't necessarily like a super direct quote, but this will help you, I think, if you think about it. So Maya Angelou said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. A lot of things in life we can't change. I wish I could. I love having the idea that I can because I'm a control freak, but I know that I can't. Like I realistically know that's not reality. I can't change everything. But I can change my attitude. You can change your attitude. We all can change our attitude so we can get through whatever we have to get through. So here are 4 ways you can quickly shift your attitude from negative to something more positive. Not 110% positive. No, I'm not even remotely close to like suggesting that. I'm just saying something more positive than the negative pit that you're sitting in. So here's 4 that I came up with. Again, this is not a conclusive list. It never is. Please go to Google and look up any other ones that you think would fit you better if this list does not help you in any way. But these are just the ones that I thought to highlight that I feel like would really help you right now. Okay, so there's 4. The first one is recognize your negative feelings and thoughts. If you're able to pinpoint like those negative things that are popping up in your mind or that you are saying out loud to yourself, then you'll be able to isolate them and be like, okay, no, we're not going to dwell on those. No, we are not going to focus on those things. We're going to move forward from them. Or if it's easier, if you feel like all the thoughts in your mind, a lot of them are negative and that would feel really overwhelming for you to try to kick all of those out, recognize when positive thoughts and feelings come to you and cling to those. If you feel like those are few and far between, I understand sometimes. That's how it is. I get it. Cling to the positive thoughts that come in your mind, the moments of gratitude, those things where you're thankful and grateful. Cling to those and really try to absorb all the positivity out of those things. And then that'll help you to shift your attitude from being negative to more positive because you're clinging to those things more and more and more and more continue to come towards you. Number 2, see your struggles as accepted challenges. When I thought of this, I thought of that classic, quote line, challenge accepted, right? And I remember it from How I Met Your Mother. Love that TV show. My husband didn't like that one as much. It's fine. I don't know why. I think he thought it was cheesy. Kind of was. It was fun though. I like that one. Anyway, challenge accepted. That's how I see your struggles as accepted challenges. I want you to tell yourself when you are going through something that's difficult and you want to have a negative mindset or a negative attitude, or you have a negative attitude because that is like what you're used to, I want you to be like, okay, no, these struggles, I accept the challenge of not allowing these things to try to take over me, try to crush me, try to conquer me. I accept the challenge to push through and be as positive as I can, knowing that'll kind of be a roller coaster a little bit, but I will still do my best, right? And I want you to think about the fact that if life were easy, right, if we didn't really have to try, you wouldn't have to step outside of your comfort zone if life were easy. And all of these things I'm probably asking you to do might be a step outside of your comfort zone, which is great. It's how you grow. It's how you learn. It's how you understand that you're capable of more than you thought you were. But yeah, so Your biggest opportunities for growth will come when you are going through something more difficult than most other things. So challenge yourself to keep going. Be like, okay, I have a negative attitude about this because it sucks. I get it. But I'm going to challenge myself, challenge accepted, to push through and not allow those negative things to win because they're not fun and they don't do anything for you. And sometimes, not that we're talking about it today, but sometimes people get sick of you because all you do is lean into the negative and they do not want a part of that. They don't want any of that. So, see your struggles as accepted challenges. Number 3, change your focus. Change your focus. Focus on something besides the eye of the storm. The eye of the storm is that big problem that you're trying to deal with, right? But something I like to talk to people about, maybe I should talk about it more, but is really widening your perspective on your struggle, on your life, whatever it is. We get so zoomed in on what the problem is, how it directly affects only you. When if you widen your perspective, you will see how it could possibly be affecting more people. So maybe that'll change your mind and how you feel you should react or respond. But also it can allow you to see more problem-solving possibilities because you're seeing a fuller view of it. You're seeing it from a different angle. You're seeing how it came to be, how it is a problem that's in front of you right now, right? You're not just so zoomed in that all you see is the problem. Once you zoom out, widen your perspective, you realize, oh, wow, this isn't just about me. These are different ways that this could be fixed. Actually, this wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was, and I don't need to be sitting in this negative attitude. Also, if I lean more into a more positive attitude, it'll work out better for me because this is connected to so many other things that will be affected if I don't change my attitude. Do you know what I mean? So change your focus. Focus on possible outcomes to change your situation. Focus on the next step you need to take to make things better, to get through it. Focus on the help you are receiving because you asked for it. You're like, I need help. Please help me. Focus on that help that you're getting. You can really lean into gratitude with that as well, and it will help to shift your attitude from negative to something more positive. Okay, number 4, and the last one, which I feel like this is a quicker episode than normal, which is interesting. Maybe you like that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Let me know. Number 4, ask yourself, really, even if it's just in your mind, you don't say it out loud. I like to ask myself questions out loud because I feel like I can go verbally through my thoughts in the processing it verbally. That's just who I am. But ask yourself for sure, will this attitude actually make anything better? Really ask yourself that. I feel like it's kind of like a come to Jesus moment with yourself of okay, the way that I'm acting right now, is this really going to help anything? Is it really going to make anything better? Yes, I want to throw a pity party right now. I want to be mad. I want to be sad. I want to throw things across the room. And yeah, maybe you will end up doing one of those things. I don't know. But maybe you'll stop yourself. Or maybe after you do one, you'll be like, oh, wait, hold on. Number 1, will this attitude actually make anything better? No, I'm making a mess right now by throwing crap across the room because I'm so frustrated. No, being in a negative attitude won't make things better. It won't help me problem solve and figure out what I need to do next. It won't help me assist someone that's actually in pain or hurting or that needs my attention. It'll pull away from me being able to help someone else that needs my attention right now. So no. So if not, change it. Shift your attitude. Shift it towards something more positive. Do you need to be there to give someone else hope in a time that feels hopeless? Shift your attitude. Really ask yourself this question. Will this attitude actually make anything better? No? Okay. What would actually make this situation better? Maybe I just chill and don't think of anything at all and take a breath. Maybe I go and talk to this person and get ideas with them. Maybe I quickly find at least step 1 of my problem-solving solution, do that, and that could hopefully inspire you to come up with the next step and the next step and the next step and what to do next. Ask yourself, will this attitude actually make anything better. Honestly, you could use this in any part of your life ever. It's like, will this attitude actually make anything better? Yes or no? No middle grounds, no maybes. Yes or no. That's it. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Again, with me, Sabrina. I appreciate you listening, downloading, and sharing this show. You guys are absolutely amazing with that. Again, check the show notes below for, how to sign up for the newsletter, how to just go to my website, how to send me an email, how to, come say hi to me on Instagram, how to RSVP to the live masterclass that is happening on May 18th. And anything else that's down there. Oh, sign up for the Facebook group. That'd be cool too. I'll see you there. We already have a few people in the group. So if that's what you're afraid of not joining, there are people in the group. So anyway, that's it. Again, thank you so much for listening, downloading, and sharing the show. Until next time, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.